What is poppin' YouTube? My name's Dallasthedeal, and we are back with round 4 of the Christoph Cup. I think that we have one more round, and then we go to top 4. But today you get to see myself again playing Gengar Trevenant against Aaron, who is playing Tyrantrum. I believe that we have both been on stream at this point. We're getting to the end of the Cup, and this was a really, really good game, and it's commentated by Christoph and some other people. This was a really good one. No technical issues for the first time, which is very, very awesome. So I hope you guys enjoy these. I hope as much as I like making them. And I hope you leave a like. I hope you sub if you haven't. And I hope you take it easy. Keep it steezy.
Christoph, friend of Dallasthedeal. I have my own YouTube channel. Check it out, by the way. Christoph Guitars. Anyways, looks like we've got
started a bit early, by the way.
Aaron. We've got Aaron on the right using my sick mat. We got Mr. Deal on the left. We've got, I believe, 2-1 for Aaron, and I'm pretty sure Dallas is either...
He's 0-2.
Yeah, he's 0-2. He is just not doing well. He started Shaman, I think, both games he's played so far, so he's not doing too hot. He's going to be playing Gengar Trevenant with Wally, trying to get that turn one Trevenant item lock garbage, whereas Aaron is playing the Tyrantrum Bronzong type of build. He's got some weird techs in there for the new standard format, and it looks like we are ready to go here, and Dallas is going to be kicking it off. Looks like a Gengar versus a Shaman and a Bronzor. Odd that Aaron wouldn't choose to start with the Bronzor, but, I mean, whatever floats his boat, I guess. Got a Trainer's Mail coming out from Dallas. Looks like he's got a couple things to choose from here. Obviously, I think I saw a Trainer's Mail. You can't really take the Trainer's Mail from the Trainer's Mail. That's what it says on the card. Yeah. So he's just trying to make his decision here. Now, how about that sweet Groudon mat they gave us at Fort Wayne? Oh, it looks like he grabs a Battle Compressor. He's going to compress his battle. Oh, dear. It looks like he has 3 double colorless in his hand. What an awful, awful hand. That's all right. Aaron starting Shaman doesn't seem to bode that much better for him, so maybe we're going to have a bit of a game here just due to the fact that neither player has much of anything working so far. Looks like he's going to battle comp out a Lysander, a full white card. I don't know if that's like a wild card in Scrabble. No, it's... I can't tell because the glare, unfortunately. He's looking through his deck, pulling out some stuff, doing things and stuff. Mostly things, though.
Not stuff.
Not stuff, says Matt, who you just saw lose to me in the last round. he didn't dig that. Alright, so it looks like Dallas is just going to discard those 2 cards and shuffle up. Let's get this turn rolling here. Oh, I think that was a Birch. The full shiny card was a Birch. He attaches the Psychic Energy to the Gengar and a Judge, I believe. Birch. That's a Birch. Sorry, glare is a terrible thing. It's a glareable thing. Ha 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 ha.
Why do they let you do this?
Why do they let me do this? That's a very good question. It's a really good question.
Better than me, I suppose.
So Birch is a really good card. Obviously, it's it's arguably better than Shawnee. You get an average of 5.5. I personally, though, I feel like Judge is not necessarily going to replace it. Looks like he flips a heads on that Birch flip, so that's really good. Really good for Dallas. Although it seems he's not getting much of anything in order to get his Trevenant on board, which is a bit terrifying. Alright, well, he's got the Ultra Ball. Looks like it's going to be a tough discard, though. I see Energy, Stadiums, Tools. Oh, he pulls back the Ultra Ball. Never mind. He's going to slap that Muscle Band down onto Gengar. Obviously doesn't matter until he can Dark Corridor. Night Attack is just placing damage counters, so he can't do any extra damage until he gets double colorless energy onto him. And he just passes for the turn, so we're on to Aaron. And he benches that Tyrantrum EX, which, for those of you who might not know, Tyrantrum does 190 damage for, I believe it's 1 fighting, 2 metal, and a colorless energy. And its ability lets it hit through any effects on the defending Pokemon, so it can hit through Beautifly, through Aegislash, through Pyroar, and an expanded format, which it actually did really well this year, this past during Fall Regionals. It was able to win, actually, in Vancouver because of just having such a strong attack and such a strong ability and such a strong synergy with that Bronzor, or the Bronzong, that lets you attach energy to your bench Pokemon from the discard pile. And it looks like we see a Birch from Aaron. I believe that's going to be a Tails, although don't quote me on that. Yeah, he gets 4 off of that, so that's a bit unfortunate. Ha, unfortunate.
Stop.
All right, I'll try to kill the puns. He benches another Bronzor, and it looks like he's got to leave that Shaman stranded in the active spot, which is obviously not ideal. However, I don't believe Dallas is going to be able to one-shot it in any scenario. Gengar is more of a two-shot to even 3-shot deck when it comes to like taking down Megas and stuff, which I guess in the standard format alone, if you were to be playing in the expanded format, then you would get cards like, well, specifically Verbank City Gym, that allows you to get a better damage output from your Gengars because you're doing 30 with the poison as opposed to 10, which is still good. It's still good. A Gengar with a Muscle Band is still doing 80 damage with 10 more, or 80 damage with the poison, becoming 90, and then 100 coming back in your turn, which is generally pretty good, and it allows you to two-shot something like a Mega Manectric EX if they don't retreat or have their Rough Seas out. So overall, Dark Corridor is a pretty good attack because it allows you to just hide back onto the bench. It forces your opponent to either waste resources trying to kill your main attacker or be stuck having to face down that Trevenant and not being able to play any of their items. And obviously, for a deck like Aaron's, it isn't particularly item reliant, but in this early game, it is extremely item reliant because you need to hit those battle compressors, those ultra balls. You need to hit everything in order to get your Tyrantrum set up so it can actually attack every turn. And I know Aaron, in order to alleviate the lack of Keldeo and Flowstone, is actually playing, I believe, a high count of Switch, and we see a Sycamore with no cards in hand. Gotta love the high five for that. Love the sportsmanship on these guys, aren't they? Just the bomb. And it looks like Dallas gets a pretty solid hand off of that. A couple Gengars, some energies. And it's just unfortunate because he doesn't really have a solid Dark Corridor target at the moment. If he were playing Robo Substitute, I feel that would be a phenomenal time to go into it, is in this early game, force your opponent to make plays around them and make them waste attacks as much as you can. So it looks like he just Dark Corridors out into another Gengar, which is fine because he's got the Mystery Energy in hand, so he's going to be able to retreat into the other Gengar and Dark Corridor back into that possible Trevenant next turn if he's able to get the Trevenant out. And it looks like Aaron just attaches to the Shaman, retreats. Oh, pays the retreat cost and pass. Wow, that Birch to 4 was really bad. All right, so Dallas gets the Dimension Valley and the Mystery Energy onto that Gengar. He's able to set up for 3 here. Pretty nice. I see a Wally. Nice. There we go. We're getting the Wally for the Trevenant here. It seems Dallas is comfortable enough with his position on the board right now that he is willing to waste his turn just evolving in order to get that Trevenant, to get that item lock, to make this game sway totally in his favor. It's looking really rough for Aaron right now. I believe he can pull it off. I played him actually in the first round and lost. It's a very good comeback deck. Once you get 2 or 3 Bronzongs going, it's really hard to keep up with that. I know Aaron actually does play Aegislash, which is a really, really good card against decks like this that have a really high amount of special energy, which Dallas is playing double colorless and Mystery Energy. So it's going to be a really solid idea for Aaron to go for that Aegislash. And it looks like so Dallas is able to knock out the Bronzor and goes into the Shaman, attaches again, and plays an Ace Trainer. An Ace Trainer now is a really interesting card. Aaron, oddly enough, was actually talking smack about Ace Trainer earlier today, and here he is using it to his advantage. And looks like JR won that last round against Matt. So he's playing the Ace Trainer here, which they both shuffle in, and it's similar to N in the fact that it's a good card when you're down, but you cannot play it if you are up on prizes. So Aaron's playing it here, so he's making Dallas draw 3, and Aaron is going to draw into 6 himself, which is a pretty good disruption type of card, especially, Dallas already has a lot of his bench space taken up by attackers and that one Shaman, so it's not likely that he's going to want to waste that last spot on another Shaman. It is possible, but so Dallas probably the odds are not in his favor that he drew into something really, really good here. So it looks like Aaron got a pretty solid draw off of that Ace Trainer in the fact that he was able to get the Tyrantrum, or no, another Bronzor rather, and that Hawlucha into play. And that's one of those interesting techs I was talking about earlier. He plays that in order to be a free retreater, so he can play Switch, which, as I said before, he plays a very high count of. So he can play the Switch into the Hawlucha, which will then allow him to Metal Links onto his bench Tyrantrum and then retreat into it. It's a really, really neat combo. I feel like it makes up for the lack of Keldeo and Floatstone very well. But you're never really going to be able to replace that. And I would almost argue that Floatstone is going to be better in this situation, because if you can get 2 Tyrantrum on board, then you can just switch back and forth with them, similar to how Metal decks originally played with the Dialga. And it looks like Dallas here, he's just kind of playing some stuff down, looking through his deck. Or sorry, that's his discard, I do apologize. Looks like he played a VS Seeker for the Lysander, and he's going after that Tyrantrum, which is a really, really smart play on his part. He needs to take care of it, because if it goes unchecked, he's just going to get run through, basically, is how it boils down. Because with the addition of the Double Dragon energy, Aaron can get that thing powered up really quickly. So it looks like we just see a Dark Corridor here. Going to be swinging, I believe, for 90 damage after the poison onto that Tyrantrum. And now Aaron is item locked, so he's not really in a very good situation. And there it is. There's the second Tyrantrum, like I said before, where if he can switch back and forth, it's obviously going to be a really good game for him. Excuse me. We got JR here. How was your game?
It was good. Ended up Quaking Punch early and then couldn't really do much, so it was a quick game.
That sounds like last format summed up in a sentence.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So it looks like...
So what game we have here? We have, Tyrantrum versus... This is the game I broadcast.
Yeah?
So, but only the difference between Dallas is that he doesn't run Wobbuffet.
Oh, he doesn't run Wobbuffet. That's unfortunate. Oh, and then it looks like Aaron just had to attach a Double Dragon and pay it to retreat, actually, which is really bad, because I think he only plays 1 or 2 fighting energy, which means... unless he's able to get a Super Rod off, he's not going to be able to play those down again. So he just pays the retreat back into that Hawlucha and then is able to Metal Links again. But this just isn't looking very good for Aaron at all, and he's just got to pass the turn. Dallas, it looks like he top-decked the double colorless energy, and it doesn't look like he has much in his hand, but he has such phenomenal board state right now. It doesn't seem to make that much of a difference. He can Dark Corridor and knock out that Hawlucha and leave Aaron with almost nothing to work with here, because he's going to have to attach onto either a Bronzor or the Shaman.
I would definitely worry about that Hawlucha. Just take care of it and just knock it out, because he's definitely a viable attacker.
Oh, absolutely.
So just getting rid of it and getting rid of the free retreat. What is he gonna promote next?
Totally. So it looks like Dallas has a Seeker for a Lysander there, or not Lysander. Sorry, Professor Sycamore, which discard the hand, draw 7. It looks like he discards a Psychic Energy. Isn't really a huge deal. He's got a lot going on already. He attached a double colorless onto that Trevenant, which will allow him to Tree Slam, which is a really, really powerful attack, especially if the opponent is not prepared for it. And I know that that Shaman there has a good amount of damage on it already. So a couple...
And we do see a Dark Corridor.
Yeah, there's the Dark Corridor for the knockout on that Hawlucha. This is a really one-sided game so far.
And I don't think he plays DCE in Tyrantrum, so he's going to definitely have to pay the tree or just sacrifice another Shaman. Then he's going to really be down in prizes.
Absolutely. I mean, going down to, I believe, Dallas has 4 prizes left? Actually, yeah.
Looks like 3.
3 or 4, I can't really tell.
I think it's 3 because it was a Hawlucha. Who was the first knockout there?
The first was a Bronzor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so then, yeah, I think he's still got 4 prizes left, which, as I said earlier, this deck can come back. It can certainly come back once it gets set up, but that's where Aaron is struggling here. If he can get another Bronzor on the bench and maybe evolve that one into a Bronzong, get some Metal Links going, get some attachments, we can see something happen. But looks like he's got a Birch.
Can't tell by the die.
And another Tails for Aaron. Ooh, bad news, Bears.
Most definitely.
Okay, so we see the other Bronzor hit the field, which is obviously very, very good.
In this situation, would you sacrifice the Shaman or would you put out a Bronzor?
I personally would have put up a Bronzor because this
Right.
deck can definitely function with attaching and then 2 Metal Links.
Sure.
So we see 1 Metal Links there, which means just a double Dragon Energy will be able to get him to attack with that Trevenant. However, wasting with that Tyrantrum, but wasting it on a Trevenant is not a phenomenal play. But there we go. Okay, so we do see him sacrifice that Bronzor, like you said.
Right.
Is that what you would have done?
I would have just first Bronzor, but it's kind of like the same situation where we're at. The only bad thing with he needs like a Aegis Slash out. I know he does play Aegis Slash, and then we get a Lysander out in the Tyrantrum. Most likely to be knocked out by Dark Corridor because I know he has a Muscle Band on the Gengar on the bench.
Yeah, this is
It's not looking good.
this is all but over for Aaron here. He wasn't able to get that Aegis Slash out early game, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about Aegis Slash earlier, and because Dallas has so many special
Right.
energy.
Oh yeah, he really definitely needs to get that out as quick as possible.
Aaron, I feel, makes a misplay there by just passing. He should have, quite honestly, Metal Linksed onto that Shaman.
I mean, by all means, he's pretty much this game is pretty much over.
Absolutely.
So
There's
he
a-
probably is not even thinking.
Dark Corridor onto the Bronzor for knockout.
Just and
And
there goes
yep,
the scoop.
He's scooping it
And
here.
Aaron scoops
Looks like
the game.
2 switches prized. Ooh, that hurts for the boy. But well, there was the game. Looks like Dallas is gonna scratch his first win on the board, and Aaron is taking the L, the hard L at that. This is Chris and
JR.
I was gonna end it the way Dallas ends his videos, but that's